So what you have here is a 30 amp dryer plug. You have 4 11/16 box, that's what they're called. It's the legal size for a dryer plug. And you have an extension, 5-foot extension that you buy. Sorry, that was the French side. So this is all being done because the dryer is just a little bit too far away from the plug. This generally occurs when you change an area that was side by side to a stackable.
So this is 1/2 inch connector. So they supply with the cord, they supply with the connector, and also they're called donut rings. In case the hole's bigger, coming from 1-inch hole, you can go down to 3/4 or even a 1/2 inch hole. You can reduce it down. So basically what I'm talking about, one of these holes, if you have a different box, you can adapt it. Okay, this was nice and tight. Alright, so I took it off. The reason I had to take it off is they put it backwards. They put a threaded part towards, it's supposed to be this way, so it goes in the box. This part here is supposed to be outside the box, not inside. This part here is outside, not inside. The threaded part is supposed to be inside. Okay, let's get to it. So, I like to use the solid ones. So if you can see, that's a 1/2 inch knockout, that's a 1/2 inch with a 3/4 inch as well. I like to use the solid ones, you get sturdier, it won't bend or flex on you, and you don't have to use those donuts. Keep in mind, I'm a licensed electrician, but anybody can do this. It's very simple. Take the knockout, like that out, see? Now, because this was a pain, I'm going to put this on again to the same spot and tighten it. And when tightening these, please keep in mind that do not over tighten. This one here was over tightened from the factory, wherever I put this together. Over tighten can cause shorts, can cause overheating, and eventually fire. So just enough so you can move it if you force it, but it's not like squishing down. I've actually gone to do repairs when I was working, and electrical panels where they've used this type of connector, over tightened it, and you see the wire all black. Okay, where did I put the connector? I found the ends to the connector. I forgot to take it off the wire. Back square one. Just take this off again. And looking at the video camera and everything, and just trying to make sure everything was okay, I didn't realize that when I took this off, I didn't take everything off. Okay. So. And I'm not using a drill on purpose, because a drill you can easily over tighten it. Okay, basically finger pressure, that's it. Not fist pressure, finger pressure. And that's it. Okay, back into here. And see, at this point here, just to say, if it was a 3/4 inch knockout, what you do is get these rings, you put one on one side in through here, like so, and then you put in the box and put this on the inside, then put the tightener. So if you can picture that. So basically what these do, they would sandwich like so and like so on both sides. Okay? But in this case, we don't need to use that. It was nice of them to supply that and the connector. So now you take your lock nut, put it through, and basically you can see that inside the box. With my arthritis in my hands today, it's a little bit on the hard part, so you shouldn't cross it, it should go in easy. So when it goes in as far as you can, what I do is I just get a flat screwdriver like so and just give it a couple of turns that way. This you want tight. You don't want it to move around. You can see that? Just, let me just show you in there. See, just push it like that. Make sure not to clip the wire. Okay, so that's it for that. Take your wires, organize them nicely. Okay, normally they don't come with these, but this is nice. If it doesn't come with this, it's fine. You have your ground wire in there. Holder. Just like wrap it around there because it has one. I'm just gonna take the whole thing right out. It would help if I had the right screwdriver. And there it is. Can't wait to get this organized garage organized. Okay, so now that's in there. You see, nice and tight, out of the way. Push everything right at the back. You don't want anything tightening or touching the top. Then you get your dryer plug. Now you keep in mind, what I bought here is for a dryer. The exact same thing goes for a stove. Okay, the stove is a different configuration for the plug, and you make sure you have the right one. See, this is the female and male part of it, and it's rated for 30 amps, as with the stove is rated for 50. So now you have this. If you look on the side, on the back side, sometimes, usually they're flat screws, but sometimes they'll come with Robinsons as well for those Americans square. I don't know if I've ever seen it in Phillips, but anyways, just loosen it up right to the top here. If you go too much, it'll pop out, but not to worry, you can always put it back in. I like to loosen them all up. Now, this is the important part. You need a piece of ground. That one there is designed to go to the box, but illegally here, I have to put a piece of ground from here to the box. I have to loop it. So I have to get one. I'll do that. Other places, I'm not sure. It is grounded because once you box all together, it is grounded. But here in Canada, we need to run ground to there. So when you look at here, you see XY. I don't know if you can see that. You see XY. Actually, I got a good idea. You can see it. It's you have XY, white or neutral, okay, on the bottom, and on top is ground. So XY left and right doesn't really matter. That's your red and your black. The most important part is the top and the bottom. So you want the ground and the neutral, which is the white, to be in the proper spot. Put my white in. And if you look inside, you see it's like little housing. You gotta make sure it's inside there. Just flip it. Sometimes if you doesn't go in properly, you'll miss it. You have to get inside there. And if all fails, I'll show you. I always test it. Even though I'm an electrician, I've always been taught to double check and test everything before connecting it. It's a good practice to have. with any trade, I think. This one you have to be tight. Don't over tighten it that you're going to break it, but it has to be tight. X, Y, doesn't matter. I'll put the black on this side. So you can see it here. And like I said, it could be the red, doesn't matter for the XY. And then the red on the other side. See, I didn't loosen this up as much. There we go. Goes in. Okay. This is the test I'm talking about. Get it? Pull. 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 Not loose, not coming out. You're good. Now you're just going to go get a piece of ground for here to there. Be right back. So, the good thing about having that loop there won't pop out. And like I said, if worse comes to worse, you would loop this through the box or cut the end off and go straight into the plug. If worse comes to worse. Okay, for those, and when you put it in, make sure you get that ground, tuck it back out of the way, and then you have to twist this, like so. So, see the wires the way they're going? Don't go against them, go with them. Okay, and you have these here, which you slide in. There's slots. Some don't, some you just come with knockouts, you have to take the knockouts out. This one here is nice, put together. So, now you just tighten this up. And this you can use a drill if you want. Nice and tight so it doesn't slide out. And the reason you follow the wires, if you do the opposite against them, it causes pressure and wants to slide it out. You don't want that. And that's it. There you go. Now you have your 5-foot extension cord. Now, in this case, it's pre-made, half of it, which is great. You have your extension cord, perfect. If you were to buy this end and then buy this wire, you'd probably be spending about the same here. So I'm looking at about here, 20 bucks. It's about, everything was about $35. Now, if you were to make a longer one, it probably it runs per foot on the wire. So you can make your own one with the wire and buy the ends, but this end here will end up costing you a little bit of money as well. It will cost you a little bit more. It is cheaper to go with a pre-built one like this. If you need more than 4 feet, then you have to spend the money and actually make it yourself.